So, hello guys, my name is Chloe. I'm back again for another podcast. I am the head of recruitment with Alba Corp, and today I'm joined with the sales manager from Alba Jobs, Philip. Today we're going to be discussing the trials and challenges in the world of recruitment and how Alba Jobs are going to be shaking things up and making things easier for you guys. So, Philip, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Obviously, me as head of recruitment, I completely understand pain points when it comes to recruitment. Companies are flooded by hundreds, sometimes thousands of CVs of people who are completely underqualified for the position. We've got this one-click apply culture, especially in UAE and Dubai. So tell me how Alba Jobs is navigating the challenges of that and what we've done to revolutionize that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, kind of like you touched on with the whole one-click apply button, that has definitely almost ruined the entire recruitment industry, I would say, in the UAE because you get so many applications. And like I just had a client that I talked to not too long ago, and he told me that he was specifically looking for somebody that he had to have a valid UAE driver's license. That was like the only qualification for the job.
Mhm.
He put the first thing he put in the job listing was like you have to have a valid UAE driver's license. He put it in bold text. He did everything just to make sure that everybody saw it. And then he went through all the CVs because he received like 800 CVs.
Mhm.
He went through every single one of them. It took him like 4 days. When he was actually done, he realized like only 1% actually had a valid UAE driver's license.
Yeah, that's
And that is simply just because now it's just a click of a button. You don't even have to do anything. You don't have to answer any questions. You don't nothing.
Tell me how you helped the client with this. What was Alba's process?
So when we go through our process, we receive obviously sometimes even thousands of candidates, and how we go through it. Because if we had a person going through each and every single one of them, that would take way too much time. So we found that the mix between the human touch and AI is definitely the best way to go. So the first stage is that we use an AI to filter it down to the top 50 to 100 candidates, kind of depending on the quality of the candidates that apply. After that, we move over to our recruitment team that contacts each and every single one of them and assesses them. And then after that, we use all this data and we figure out who is the best talent for the company.
So you touched on there about assessments. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So we test them in 3 different stages. The first stage is that we test their skills. We kind of verify that they actually know what they're talking about and that they haven't just stated something on their CV. Funny thing is, when I first went through the our system and kind of clicked through and looked at different candidates, I picked up one person that said that they have been working with SEO for the past 5 years. And somebody working in SEO for 5 years, they must have so much knowledge in that industry, right? I go in and I look at their testing results, and they scored 10% out of 100.
No way.
And that's like such a common thing in the UAE where you hire somebody based on their CV, but when they actually begin doing the work, that's when you realize that maybe they weren't as qualified as they said they were.
So you start testing them on their skills. What else do you then test on?
So after that, we move over to the personality. So as you know, it's a very, very common problem that you might hire somebody and they might be amazing on paper. They might have all the necessary skills. They might, be the best person on the role on paper. But when they actually begin working and, they begin to come in contact with the company culture and they might get in contact with their colleagues and everything, that's when you realize that you don't really share the same values. And then you end up either having to get rid of them or they leave themselves within a couple of months.
Yeah, I think that's actually huge. I've seen that a lot in recruitment, especially the old ways of recruiting based on a CV. And I definitely can see a shift now with companies where they are transitioning more into, does this person fit with our culture, our mission, our values? So I think that's huge that we're able to test for that.
Yeah, for sure. That also results in them probably not even leaving. Like, because the reason why people usually leave is because they don't feel at home with the company that they work at. If somebody really feels at home and they get along with
Yeah.
everybody, they share the same values. If somebody comes along and they offer them like a slightly higher salary, why would they leave? The
Yeah.
risk is not worth it at all. So
Yeah.
that's why we test for personality.
Philip, there's obviously hundreds, if not thousands, of recruitment agencies out there. What makes Alba Jobs different?
So I like to consider Alba Jobs kind of recruitment 2.0. It's kind of like the upgraded version of recruitment. If you look at traditional models when it comes to recruitment agencies, the first thing is the whole commission-based model, right? Like you have to pay depending on the salary of the person. And it sounds good on paper because you feel like, oh, well, that sounds good. I don't have to pay as much. But the problem with that model is that let's say they have 2 different candidates in front of them, right? Let's just imagine you, okay? You're working at a recruitment agency right now, like a traditional one. You have 2 different profiles in front of you. One of them, both of them have the same amount of experience, but one of them wants 6,000 dirhams in salary. The other one only wants 4. Which one are you going to send to the client?
6,000.
Exactly, because you want to get paid more. And that's the biggest issue when it comes to traditional recruitment agencies, that you never really know if you get the best value for your money, because they will always be incentivized to give you more expensive candidates. So obviously you dealt with traditional recruitment agencies in the past.
When it comes to traditional recruitment, there was definitely no personal touch there. It felt like they would be coming to me with a few candidates, and really when I would read through their CV, great on paper, but when you actually get talking to them, I could have picked any of the candidates out of the pool that had already applied. There was no assessment done on their character, their cognitive ability, and their fit into our company. I mean, for them, I guess they don't have the tools to do that. So it may as well have just done it myself, to be honest. This sounds like a really, really good model for companies. But tell me, is this going to benefit candidates also?
Oh yeah, for sure. So the thing is, a lot of people, when it comes to, there's a lot of hidden talent in the UAE because there's so much. It's very difficult to find the actual good people, and we usually people are based off of how their CV looks. And some people just don't know how to write a CV. They might have all the necessary skills, but they don't know how to actually put it down on paper. And those guys miss out on a good opportunity. With this system, we will always be able to find them the perfect employer that actually values their skills, and where they can actually grow within the company and feel comfortable working there. And
You guys are like employment matchmakers.
exactly, yes.
Love that. Yeah, I mean, I guess how can you show your personality on a CV really at the end of the day? So I guess with the assessments that you guys are doing, you're able to then open up this person really and show who they are as a person. Personality traits, their cognitive abilities, their actual abilities in the job role itself. So I think, it's huge that you're able to do that and they're not just purely judged off of their CV.
Exactly, that's the idea.
Where do you see the future of recruitment, Philip?
I definitely do believe like our recruitment 2.0 system that we have is definitely going to be revolutionizing the entire UAE market. Because if you really think about it, when it comes to recruiting, that is the most costly thing ever when you do it incorrectly. So if you hire somebody, if you accidentally mishire somebody, then you have the problems with the visa cost. You have the loss of income if they do something like a salesperson. You have things like maybe draining other people, making other people worse at their job because they don't get along or whatever it might be. And then you also have to go through the entire process all over again. So I definitely do believe like the more people opens up their eyes to this new opportunity, they will definitely stick to it.
Love that. Okay, thank you so much for being here today, Philip. I'm obviously being in recruitment myself and adopting, your ways of doing things. It's helped me massively. So I'm super excited to see where Alba Jobs goes in the future and how you're going to revolutionize the recruitment industry. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm really rooting for you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate it.